See, the actual passages that you get on the IELTS are long passages. You'll have around 7, 8 to even 10 paragraphs. Okay, the paragraphs will be long and you will have many paragraphs. Okay, so this passage is about the life and work of Marie Curie. Right, so we just read the title of the passage. We have understood what is the passage about, and we'll directly come to the question. Now let's read the first question. The first question over here says, Marie Curie's husband was a joint winner of both Marie's Nobel Prizes. Right. Now there are two information that is given in this statement. First information is that Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize twice. Right? Do you all agree with this? That the first information is that Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize twice, right? Good. The second information is that both the times that she won the Nobel Prize, her husband was a joint winner along with her. Did you all get that? Yes. So there are two information in the same statement. We have to search for both these informations, right? So we have to see that she has won the Nobel Prize twice and whether she has won it both the times along with her husband or not. The keyword over here can be Nobel Prize. Let's search for the word Nobel Prize in the passage. It is saying that the husband was a joint winner in both the Marie's Nobel Prizes. Okay. Let's search. Where do you have Nobel Prize? Where is Nobel Prize, guys? Third line, second line, second line. Okay. So read the information. Okay. Think again, Rahul. Read it again. Okay, Ankita, fine. All of you. Good, good. Rahul, go through it again. Ashwarya, Mirali says false. Ashwarya, false. Got it now, Rahul? Good. So she was awarded the Nobel Prize twice. Once in 1903 and second time in 1911. So in the 1903, her husband was a joint winner with her, right? With her husband Pierre Curie and Henry Becquerel. There were three winners who won together. But in the 1911, the Nobel Prize that she won, she was a sole winner. Sole winner means what? She did not share it with anyone else, right? She won it alone. So the answer is false, solo, right? She won twice, but along with her husband. But once along with her husband, right? Twice, the second time that she won it, it was alone. Right, so the answer is false. Good. All of you have got it. Now, the second question. Mary became interested in science when she was a child. What is the keyword that we have over here? We can have science as a keyword or we can have child as a keyword, right? So we'll try to search which paragraph talks about, yes, child or science. So we'll try to see which paragraph is talking about the childhood. Mary's childhood, and then we'll see whether she was interested in science or not. So this is the paragraph which is talking about her childhood. So information must be in this paragraph only. You don't need to search for the information in the entire passage. Yes, second paragraph. So read it. Not given. Okay, all of you. So the second paragraph, you do not have that information, right? Second paragraph is talking about childhood, and it is nowhere written that she was interested in science. So the answer is not given. All of you got it? Ankita? Good. Now, the third question. Mary was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. So Sorbonne can be a keyword over here. Alright. So it's saying that she was able to attend the Sorbonne because of her sister's financial contribution. Let's see. See, some students forget the question while searching the answer. So if this is happening with you also, then take a screenshot of the question. Okay. Otherwise, while you are searching the answer, you'll forget the question. False or not given. Okay. Rahul, Saurabh says true. Good. True. Okay. True. Rahul, true. Right. So the answer is true. Why the answer is true? It is written over here that from her earnings, she was able to finance her sister Bronia's medical studies in Paris on the understanding that Bronia would in turn later help her to get an education. So first, Mary helped her sister Bronia on the understanding that later Bronia would help Mary, and this promise was fulfilled. And Mary went to Paris and began to study at the Sorbonne. So yes, right. The answer is true. Good. Now the fourth question. Mary stopped doing research. Now by this time, guys, I want all of you to realize something really important about this passage. Now try to understand this. Pay attention. See, the first paragraph over here is about who was Marie Curie and why are we studying about her, right? It's setting the context of discussion in the subsequent paragraphs, right? Like Marie Curie was the most famous women scientist ever lived, and she was born over here and she won the Nobel Prize. So it's talking about who Marie Curie was. Then it's talking about her childhood. Then it continues about her young days, her teenage and all. Next it talks about her marriage. Now try to understand the structure of this passage, okay, the organization. Next is talking about her work post marriage. After marriage, the works that she did. Now here you can see that it's talking about the birth of Mary's two daughters. Next it's talking about the sudden death of her husband. So are you able to? No, it's not always. See, Pranay, it's not always in series, but what am I trying to tell you is that if you understand the organization of the passage, if you spend 2 minutes and you understand the organization of the passage, like first paragraph talks about this, the second paragraph talks about this, you get an overview of the entire passage. After that, if you solve any of the question types, it will always become easier for you. Right now, what will happen is we are taking a keyword and we are searching for the keyword in the entire passage, right? Because we do not know where the answer is. But when you know that this paragraph is talking about this, when you know the main idea of each and every paragraph, you don't have to search in the entire passage. This is called targeted reading. We can just go to the paragraph where we think the answer should lie. All of you getting this? Right? So you can simultaneously, what you can do is at the same time, what am I doing over here is I'm purely scanning over here. But if you spend 2 minutes on skimming, that will help you. Getting it? You can do the either way also. When you are practicing by yourself, what I want you to do is just spend first 2 minutes in skimming the passage. Read the first 1 or 2 lines of the paragraph, read the last 1 or 2 lines, or in between if you want, just read 1 or 2 lines. The idea is to read as less as possible and understand as more as possible. Okay, so the mindset should be not to read, just skim it. Means just roughly read it out and try to understand what is this paragraph about. So do this with all the paragraphs, 8-10 paragraphs, whatever is there. And then when you go to the questions, you will find that you will know that the answer should lie in this paragraph, the answer should lie in that paragraph. Getting it? It will become a bit easier to frame out the passage. Like this passage is known to be this order that this passage is following is known as what? This is called chronological order. Getting it? The way the things happen in the actual life, that's how it is written over here. First a person takes birth, right? And then about her childhood, then about her teenage, then about her marriage, then her work post marriage, then the birth of her children. So yes, a timeline kind of a thing. Good. Yes. So that is called chronological order actually. So like this, every passage has an order, right? Every passage has some kind of an order. So if you are able to decode that order, you will not waste time in searching the answers. It will become easier to locate the answers in the passage, right? So what is the next question? Let's move to the fourth question now. The fourth question says, Mary stopped doing research for several years when her children were born. So if you have skimmed the passage, you will not go anywhere else, right? You will directly go to the passage which talks about the birth of her children, right? So let's see whether it is correct or not, that whether she stopped doing research after the birth. So this is the paragraph that talks about birth, right? Let's read this. False. Good. False, 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 false. Good, good, good. Aishwarya, good. Saurabh, good. So it failed to interrupt, right? It's very clearly written that the birth of Mary's daughter failed to interrupt her scientific work. Means she continued doing work even after the birth of her daughters, right? Failed to interrupt. Good. Good. Now, next question. This one is saying that Mary took over the teaching position her husband had held. Okay. So her husband had held means what, guys? What is it trying to tell you over here? The husband is dead now, right? Yes, he is no more. Exactly. So we'll go to the passage which talks about the death of her husband, right? Let's go to that paragraph and let's see whether she took the teaching position of her husband or not. So it should be in this paragraph. Now read this. So the answer is true, right? Good. She took over the teaching position. She was appointed the professorship that had been left vacant on her husband's death, right? Becoming the first woman to teach at the Sorbonne. So yes, she took her husband's teaching position. That is true. Good. Now the last passage is talking. The last question is saying that Mary's sister Bronia studied the medical uses of radioactivity. Okay, so first of all, it is talking about Bronia. That Bronia studied the medical use of radioactivity. What can be our keyword over here? Radioactivity. Bronia. Okay, see, instead of Bronia, they can write sister also, right, Rahul? They can write Mary's sister. So Bronia cannot be the keyword. But radioactivity cannot be paraphrased. And I would say it is more appropriate to go with medical uses of radioactivity. That would be better to find out, right? Yes, let's take medical uses of radioactivity as a keyword and let's search whether it is given in the passage or not, whether this is true or not. Okay, and Mary studied the medical uses of radioactivity. So, okay, these two paragraphs, first two paragraphs we have read. Where do we have radioactivity? Here we have radioactivity. But is it talking about Marie Curie or it's talking about Bronia? Whom is it talking about? It's talking about Marie Curie, right? It's not about Bronia. Okay, so let's move ahead. Next, where do we have radioactivity? Here we have radioactivity. But is it talking about medical uses of radioactivity? No. Moreover, it's talking about Marie Curie again. It's not talking about her sister Bronia, right? Good. Next, when do we have? Now here we have radioactive substances and their medical applications. But is it about Bronia or it is about Marie Curie? Tell me. All of you, whom is it about? It's still about Curie, right? Yes, it's still talking about Curie only. Marie Curie, now at the highest point, a member of Academy of Medicine, researched the chemistry of radioactive substances. So who is doing it? Medical applications. Mary is doing it, right? It's not her sister. It's not Bronia. Next, where do we have it? Next, we have radioactive isotopes over here. So this is not medical uses. And moreover, it is about Mary again. So do we have any sentence in the passage with the help of which we can answer this question? So we were searching for this information, but this information is not there in the passage. So the answer should be not given. All of you? Good. Good, good. So the answer is not given. So this is the way. See, I am repeating again that the approach has to be followed. I want you all to see the approach that we are following. Okay, understanding the question and going to the passage and searching for the right keywords. So the choice of keywords is important over here. Searching for those keywords, then finding a match between what the question is saying and what is the information given in the passage. Right. This is what we have to do. Good. So with this we are done with true false. Guys, the strategies are same. Okay. The strategy is the same for yes, no, not given also. It's the same that instead of true, false, what we are writing yes, no, not given, right? So the strategies are same. So let's not waste time doing another passage. We have already seen. Instead of true, false, we'll write yes, no over there. That's the only difference. What's the next question type? It's sentence completion according to the list that I gave yesterday.